you?
Alrighty, we are live on air on Paradigm Shift and Educational Comedy. Right. So
everybody, you're driving again. Can you turn your mic down about to one-third down?
By Walt Silver.
Sure.
While guided by spirits or angels or
there
guides, we go. Want to know who they are and what special message they may have for you? Have Walt Silver take a shamanic journey to contact
we are linking.
They have a tool to help you in the form of
down a bit more.
Google Hangout. Down a bit more. Okay.
Yep.
Go to Cosmic Reality Connect.
How's that?
Click on the Walt Silver button. Walt Silver, a member of the Wolfpack.
How's that, JP?
There you go.
Speak again. Store.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Yeah.
To tear down the matrix.
It's when you actually. Are you on a fixed mic or is it on a headset?
The mic is through my webcam and my headset is headphones.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, here we go. Here goes everything. I hope everybody's connecting. You're connected on your end, right?
Yeah. We're good. We're good with that.
Okay, we're going now. We're going live in about 5 seconds. There we go.
Spirit Radio, Everbeyond.com. Hearing us now from Ireland, Scottish Sovereigns on the Land.ning.com.
And PSEC documentary on YouTube, just for one night.
Leave your belief systems behind as we go beyond teachers, beyond gurus, beyond duality, ever beyond, 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 beyond.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good God, what am I doing? Here we go. There we go. I'm just running the next recorder, try to see if we can get a good, high-quality recording. Who knows what's going to happen? Tonight is, it's boffin night. It's experimental night. We are doing something that nobody's done before. Well, I don't know if anybody's done before.
As far as we know. As far as we know.
But nobody does in the general thing, and nobody's done it on a complete shoestring like we do. I think that's the unique thing, that not one penny will be spent on this event. Anyway, so we have old hand and friend of the show, Dave Kelso, otherwise known as Time Warrior from the days gone by. And he's over in Chicago, and he's doing something. Actually, Dave, why don't you tell everybody, introduce yourself, and explain what exactly is going on your end? Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm on my regular station. I'm simulcasting to 3 stations just now. 4, 5.
Okay, actually. so list off who you're simulcasting to, and then I'll list off what I'm doing.
Okay, so first of all, we're in Scotland. We're on Scottish Sovereigns on the Land.ning.com. In Ireland, we're on TNS TNS Radio, I think, .com. As much as TNS as. And we're on Everbeyond Radio. That's broadcasting from London, England. So we've got the British Isles covered, and then that's being relayed across to Osprey Radio Studios A and B, and I think that's about it from my end. How about you?
Okay, are we on any FM relays, AM, FM radio, or are we just pure internet on your end?
Not on mine, no.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure so that if I accidentally slip out a swear word or something, nobody's owing anybody any money. Unless you guys don't have the FCC.
It's nice to be polite, but we haven't got any money anyway.
Anyway,
So let's keep the costs low of any litigation, and etc. So
on my end, what we're doing, if people go to youtube.com/PSEC documentary, they'll notice a little thing that says we're live, and they'll be able to click that, and they'll be able to see me in the Google Hangout here, and they'll also be able to hear you. So what I've done is, as far as I can tell here, I've successfully established a Google Hangout Skype bridge. So anybody coming in on the Google Hangout end, they won't be able to see anybody on the Skype end, of course, but they'll be able to hear everybody on the Skype end, and everybody on the Skype end will be able to hear them. We could bring, Skype callers into the Google Hangout via Skype. I also have a package that allows me to make, unlimited calls in the United States and Canada. So, I could bring in, people with cellular phones, traditional telco, whatever. So, and of course, this is, streaming out on YouTube, so that means it's getting recorded by YouTube as a YouTube video, so people could come back and watch that later. So people can actually see me sitting here talking and waving my hands around it, nothing like an idiot, and they can hear you. So people can. Right now, I'm the only one on the Google Hangout end. Katerina Edwards Roy and Paul Roy are still out and about, and hopefully will be able to join us soon. I did let Max Egan and Vinny Eastwood know about this, and I haven't heard back from either of them, so I think it's probably safe to say that they will not be participating, most likely. Haven't heard anything from Tobias Lars, and Jay Larson is supposed to be participating, but I do not see him around online. I know his mother died recently, so he might be dealing with things with that. I don't know. We'll see. So,
okay.
Yeah,
so well, this is good. One
other thing.
There you are.
I need to mention
you on the YouTube channel.
I need to mention one other thing. As far as I could tell, Eli Sanford of Osprey Radio Networks does seem to be successfully connected in. So we should also be simulcasting on ospreynet.info, hopefully. Eli, are you here? I mean, it shows this little box in the Skype here, and it doesn't claim that he's trying to, that it's trying to reconnect to it or anything, and it's not giving me the errors.
That looks good. Yeah, excellent. Do you want to unmute your mic, Eli, and say hello?
Eli just messaged me and he said, we're streaming. I'm working on the mic. Okay, so apparently the only technical
there we go.
Yeah.
So,
the only technical issues he's having right now is his ability to speak, and he's working on that. And I'm hearing a little bit of feedback from your end, because I know
when my mic's open, yeah.
Yeah, because I know you said you're connected to the streaming video. So make sure that you're only able to view that, and you're not feeding that back into the connection. The way I have established this this connection is very simple. I have two laptops connected together, mic to speaker, speaker to mic. One laptop is hosting Skype, and the other one is hosting Google Hangout. And I also did a quick video with Rich testing the call, and I showed the physical hardware setup, because I did that video using my flip video camera. It wasn't like a live streaming thing or anything. So if you go to youtube.com/PSEC documentary, and then you click into the videos section like I'm doing right now, you'll see a video that says PSEC 2015 Quick Hardware Tour, Skype to Google Hangout connection, and that is the quick little 7-minute and 43-second video there that I physically show the setup. You get to see the two laptops. You'll get to see where I'm sitting and what's going on, all that good stuff. So yeah.
Okay, so, right, excellent. So, there we are. I'm just stopping myself from burning my fingers on the stove. That's good. So, all I see on your thing is you looking down on the YouTube. Maybe I need to refresh that. Is there a way of doing that?
Just reload the video, I guess. It's like when any other YouTube video messes up. I'm hearing myself feedback into myself from your end, though.
Yeah, when you talk to me and I'm speaking, it will feedback because of Skype's lack of quieting at this point. Anyway, so now we're here. What should we discuss?
Alrighty. Well,
what have you been up to, Dave?
I've been up to quite a bit of things. Apparently, improving my video skills is one of the things, as you commented to me on yesterday. I would really love it if Katerina and Paul could actually get in here. I'm going to ask them what their ETA.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Eli,
There's
right.
Eli. We've got Eli on the line. Sweet.
Dave, why don't you contact Katerina and the other guys while I introduce Eli and we have a little chat and you can mute and get on with your stuff.
I was just about to suggest the same thing, so great minds think alike.
Yes, well, telepathy works in these internet situations. Eli, good afternoon. How are you? Whereabouts are you, mate?
Good to you too. I'm from North Carolina.
North Carolina. Ah, lovely place. Is it good weather there? Is it spring or is it still covered in thousands of
it's nice and warm here. It's like 60, 70 degrees.
Oh, that's quite comfortable. Quite a comfortable sort of thing. So, it says Rev here. Are you a minister of some kind? What's your story? What's your
I was ordained in 2004, and I do more counseling than preaching, but yeah, it's legitimate, and yeah.
So, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? What's your what's your kind of your topic as well? I mean, what's the thing that kind of sparked you at the first place?
Radio back at the turn of the millennium kind of got me going, and I've been doing internet radio since then. I run Osprey Networks. We're streaming out on that, and hopefully that's working. I can't really see it and talk to. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing for, I don't know, the last 10 years is internet radio.
Oh, that's lovely. And so what kind of topics have been covered? Now, how do people get to your station?
OspreyNet.info would be the website.
OspreyNet.info. That's Osprey with an E. OSPREYNET.info, yes?
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but Richard Hamilton, yes, he's a descendant of Alexander Hamilton. He's about to come in via the Google Hangout portion of it, but he's messaging me and says I don't have access. Yes, you do. That's interesting. But yeah, trying to get Rich GeneralTate, as he is also known. He's not actually really a general. That's just his name on DeviantArt, but he should be joining us momentarily. So give us a moment.
Okay. And Dave, your mic seems to have crept up again. Have you got automatic setting on it or something? It seems to be
No.
distorting once more.
No, there's no automatic settings or anything. I disabled that in Skype because the automatic volume adjust in Skype is a piece of shit. But hold on, let me try to check this out with Rich.
Okay, so anyway, so Rev, what kind of stuff do you talk about on your show? On your station?
We talk about everything. You name it. We talk about politics. We talk about everything from the paranormal to UFOs to what's Anonymous doing these days. What's you name it. We talk about it.
Ancient history. One of my favorites is like pre-Lemurian history.
Well, I'll have to have you on sometime.
But I mean, we've been doing some wide-ranging, and the other thing is the continued existence of the Nazis. That they never went away. So that's something that I watch personally, and we deal here on Wolf Spirit with issues pertaining to trauma-based issues like the psychological and the government-sponsored. So we're working towards solutions for people who have experienced that and experienced trauma, and finding out ways of defusing it. Yeah, because it puts the shock into the body. Anyway, that's part of Wolf Spirit. And we have nice jingles and things like this. That doesn't work. Pressing F7 doesn't do that on that browser. All right, oh dear, Linux, wonderful. There we go. I think I can do this safely. Yeah, fascinating. You see. So let's see if that blew Dave's headphones. So OspreyNet, have you got a variety of hosts on there?
Yeah, we do. We have. I do a show I'm bringing back that I did like 10 years ago and everybody liked, called Roundtable. We also have. I'm gonna put Time Warrior. That's what I call it. Don't even as Time Warrior forever. I'm gonna put some of his stuff up, and we kind of going through a rebuilding phase where we did 10 years of great radio, and everybody kind of fell away, and it kind of becomes stale, and well, it's time to start over, and time to go back with new content and stuff, and rebuild the network.
Okay, so you must have many archives.
Oh yes, archive.org, and you just type in Osprey Networks. Tons of stuff will come up. Just have it's all Creative Commons. Anybody can air it. Anybody can do anything with any of the shows we've aired over the years.
Well, so having spoken to all those people over all those years, you must have an idea of what's going on. What's your take on what's going on right now, given all of the radio shows of all the people that you've spoken to?
Sorry to interrupt.
All right, here we go.
I just wanted to let you know that Richard Hamilton, aka GeneralTate, is here, and so we can do a full demonstration. Mr. Tate, please open your mic and your video so that we can get the full multimedia frickin' experience, simulcasting everywhere, video, audio, everything. We're just going all over the place. It's crazy.
Hello. It's kind of crazy being on a Hangout, and from what I can tell, a radio show as well. That is pretty cool. First time for everything.
We are, so this is JP from Wolf Spirit Radio, Everbeyond Radio, TNS Radio, and Scottish Sovereigns on the Land Radio. We're all from the UK and across to the Nevada, and actually we don't have anybody in. Oh, we still have Tremjar, I suppose. Anyway, and Indiana, we broadcast from as well, from our other studio here. But welcome, GeneralTate. But before you continue, I just asked Reverend Eli, after all his experience, I did a long question, so I don't want to waste that question. I did a long question, and Eli's probably had enough time to compose in his mind a sort of a kind of picture. Would you like to draw the picture for us, Eli?
Well, I've been doing this for about 10 years, and in that 10 years, things have really, I mean, they haven't really got any better, you know? I mean, you scream into a microphone long enough, and you think maybe something will change, but it really hadn't. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of why I'm still out here doing this, you know? Trying to make things better. I mean, the world picture hasn't really gotten any better. I mean, we're exactly where we were at in 2004. I mean, we're still in a war. We're still, you know, fighting terrorists, supposedly. We're still, you know, we're literally, it's 2004 again. I mean,
I disagree.
Well, that's an interesting concept. You know, this is something I've also been reading up about. Is this spherical spiral repeating model of time? Is that, you know, we're just repeating the same 10 years over and over and over again?
that sounds about right.
Any thoughts on that, Time Warrior?
I disagree. I have seen more awakening in the masses, in the planet, in the people, since 2012 than like ever. Like, I've seen, I guess you could say that it's 20, 30 years worth of awakening just like crammed into a time compression of only a few years. The reason that people like Eli are under the impression that, oh my God, nothing is changing, is because society, again, being run by Nazis, we literally have been raised to all be Nazis, think like Nazis, act like Nazis, feel like Nazis. There's that instant gratification drive and that impatience drive. We think that, you know, if we don't plant a tree seed today, we're going to have a 40-foot tree tomorrow, that, oh, everything's always going to be the same, doom and gloom, we can't do it, and oh my God, the world is ending, and I'm a failure, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's a part of, whether you want to call them the Illuminati or the globalists or whatever, that's a part of their mechanism for keeping us enslaved. Because if we
disagree with you there. Well, I mean, you know, 10 years isn't instant gratification, my friend. I mean, that's a long time, and I'm still out here doing it. I mean, I'm not saying that things can't change. I'm just saying that a lot of things have not changed, and people may be awakened, but if they don't do anything with that awakenedness, what good is it?
I agree with that, but there's also a lot of changes that have happened that you've really not been privy to. No one can see absolutely everything that's going on everywhere in the world. And, you know, we each see different things based on what our experiences are. And another problem is when two different people have two completely different sets of experiences, both of those experiences are equally true and valid, but the two people will fight each other. I see it all the time in the truth movement. Try to talk to anybody in the truth movement about anything, all they're concerned about is dick-wagging their egos and seeing who can proclaim themselves as the most right and self-righteous. They're not realizing that all these different participants in these debates have equally valid and equally true experiences, but each of them want to think, oh, only my experience is the only one true experience, and that's it. Nothing else is going on. So yeah, there's a lot of really good, awesome, productive, powerful, awakening shit that a lot of people have seen, a lot of positive changes, and a lot of people have not seen because they weren't looking. You know, if a cat jumps off a table in a room that you're not in, it doesn't mean the cat didn't jump off the table in that room. It just means you weren't in that room to see it. It's a big planet, and nobody can know absolutely all of everything that's going on with all of everything. And that's another problem with people who are so dived into all these dark and gloomy conspiracy theory stuff is they have a belief system that says it's not possible for anything positive to happen. So if they have a belief system that says it's not possible, they're not looking for any of that. They don't. They think that looking for that is the equivalent of being told, oh, go across the Rainbow Bridge and consult the magical unicorn about the cupcake of wisdom, and it just seems like total crap. So people who are caught in this misery paradigm, it makes sense for them to not look for any of the positive, because it's like being asked to believe in Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny or something. So I understand. But at the same time, that is also the same hubris that the Illuminati, the elites, the globalists, the corporatocracy, the corporate whores, whatever you want to call them, have programmed into us since we were little kids. To think that, if we experience this one thing, that's the way it is.
I've been preaching the same thing for 10 years, man. I totally agree with you there. And you're using Schrodinger's cat against me here. But, I think that we really should be focused on, like, a single progressive movement forward. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of everybody going off in their own ways, trying to do their own thing.
Unfortunately, I have to disagree. That's the programming. A single progressive movement that, again, the Nazis were a single progressive movement. Republicans are a single progressive movement. It's these single progressive movements that get us into trouble. It's like it's corralling the cattle for slaughter. You know what I mean? We're trained to think.
Look, if you don't change, if you don't adjust, you cannot grow.
That is true. But if you don't start on the individual separate level, then you can't form into any groups. It's going to fail. We're not taught in this society how to be individuals. I was not taught how to be an individual. In fact, I was taught by society that being an individual means you're bad and you're naughty and you're doing something wrong and you're going to get into trouble. Do not think for yourself. Do not question. Obey. Conform. That's what society taught me all my life.
Hey, and I agree. The society is still teaching people that, and we need to step up and do something about it. Mm-hmm. But sitting here complaining about it isn't going to get it done.
Exactly. So we have to learn to be individuals first, because there's no way that individuals can come together into a group when they don't know how to be individuals. It's like trying to have a bunch of 6-year-olds.
I've been teaching people how to do that since 2004. Okay, I've been teaching people how to do that since 2004, and you know it because you were there.
Yeah, but Eli, there's still a lot of paradigms you're stuck in that are stopping you. There's still a lot of paradigms I'm stuck in that are stopping me too. And we're all learning at our own pace. And one of the big problems is we think that, we have X knowledge about this, and this. And so we're thinking that, we have that, so there's no more to learn. I've got it all covered, so everybody has to follow me and do what I say. Otherwise, they're a sheep and they're not awake and they're not enlightened. And I had to get past that point of ego myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not about ego. It's just my point of view is that there's not enough people today willing to actually stand up for their own rights and their own individualism to change anything.
Yet. It is building. I've been seeing a build up, and it's building fast.
That's all I was saying is that
the thing is,
it's faster than you think.
Gentlemen,
Gentlemen.
Good afternoon. Oh, welcome to Everbeyond. Oh, something's ringing. Welcome to Everbeyond. This is Everbeyond on Osprey Radio, and
hold on.
We're having a simulcast. And
there we go. Hold on. Let me tell everybody who's online. This is Kristen Meyer, aka Thinking Kristen, on YouTube, or Chrissy Sparkle, I do believe is the /. But yeah, Kristen, welcome to Google Hangout / simulcast on Osprey Radio Networks, simulcast Wolf Spirit Radio, simulcast a whole bunch of different shit at once. And where did Rich go? He was just here.
Woohoo! Thanks for having me.
Well, your mother had you. We're just inviting you on the call. It was your mother who had you.
So, Kristen.
That is true. Thanks for having me on the call.
Kristen, hello. This is JP. I'm
here's Rich.
The host of this show. is the kind of core of this. It's lovely to have you on. So you run a radio network. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that and the kind of things you talk about, or a YouTube channel?
Yes, I'm on YouTube. It's more the beginning stages of a YouTube channel, but I can tell you a little bit about what I've posted on so far.
Please, would you?
I talk a lot about self-worth. Well, a more enjoyable life. And I've been on Dave's show, Paradigm Shift in Educational Comedy, a few times, which is something I really always enjoy doing. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, again, thanks for having me. I think this is a really cool thing that's going on today.
Yes, indeed. There's quite a chain, actually, I have to say. On a technical level, there's at least 1, 2, 3 radio servers chained one to the other, and that's producing several radio streams that are on various sites. And then there's 2 more.
There's 3 computers just on my end. One hosting the Hangout, one hosting the Skype. Those 2 linked. The third one is the one I'm going through, and then the Skype is connecting in the Osprey Networks simulcast, as well as connecting in Kristen's call, and then through the Hangout. Rich, aka GeneralTate, he's talking through the Hangout. I'm talking through the Hangout. You're all talking through Skype. It's wow. It's. I think this might be a first.
This is for those of you who are into esoterics. This is a prime example of the third ray expressing is the ray of active intelligence. Being able to connect things together is an extremely third ray activity, and building new structures, that's 7th ray. So that's the way we relate to each other. The 7th ray in terms of right relationship and gentleness and politeness and harmlessness and excellence and impeccability and all those lovely things are all the domain of the 7th ray. So and that's how the 7th ray and the 3rd ray interact. It's your sacral center and your throat center. Your sacral center is the 7th ray, and the throat center is the 3rd ray. And the 3rd ray is the energy of connection and bringing together of different thoughts and active intelligence and computer networks and logistics and drivers and connections, and then 7th ray.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Yes, Dave. Did you want to add something?
I said, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Lovely.
Okay.
Lovely. Anyway, so this is Everbeyond, and we always want to go further, to take everybody one step further. That's why I thought I'd add that, since nobody else talks about it, and that's the stuff that this show's all about. Anyway, so Eli.
Yeah.
We had did we finish our little topic there about your experiences, or would you like to add your side of, how would this be relevant?
Relevant to what? I mean, relevant to...
Well, here you are. You're saying you've done all this radio, and yet somehow you don't feel that it's done anything.
Well, I feel that it's done something. I just don't feel it's done enough. That we need to keep moving forward.
What's enough? When is enough? And how do you know when enough is enough? That's a very, very important question.
I don't think there will ever be enough. I mean, I don't think that I don't think as human beings we will ever stop. I mean, this is our legacy. This is, I mean, it may be digital works and just voices on tape, and but I think that people can learn from that. I think people can learn from the audio we do, and it's like the modern book. So I don't think we ever will stop as a race of people. I don't think there will ever be enough.
Just like there's always more awakening to be had, you know, there's always more information, deeper meaning that can be spread around. So I just think it's more and more opportunity to have really interesting conversations and to share a lot of awesome insight with people who really need to hear it.
I agree.
So I love hearing about projects like this and stuff. You know, the radio stations, helping people out and stuff.
Well, what it reminds me of primarily, there's a good old-fashioned quote from way back in the day with the space program, but it's one of the famous Apollo astronauts who stood on the moon and said, you know, there's a fundamental truth to our nature. Man must explore. And, you know, exploring isn't just something you do physically. It's also a very mental thing, too. I mean, there's all kinds of different things, you know, different experiences, different ideas, different, you know. And when you open yourself up to that, it's really liberating in a sense. I mean, it's literally like Star Trek. You're literally going where I'm not saying it's a pretty common thing, but you know, in a metaphorical sense, you're going where you haven't gone before. You know, you're going where no one has gone before. You know.
I missed a little bit of what you said, just because I think there might be a little bit of a connection thing, but from what I heard, you know, I agree.
So, to boldly split infinitives, indeed. Yeah. It's still on my end. The video on the YouTube feed is slowing down and stopping, but you know, I don't need to see this, and I haven't got enough bandwidth for all that. But it's great. Apparently, it's sounding very good. Hello everybody. If I could wave my avatar, I could, but it's just me looking to the left, isn't it? What do people see on YouTube, Dave, or on Google, or anything?
Well, right now, who has the vacuum? Someone's got a frickin' vacuum somewhere.
You need to check your auto adjust and make it not auto adjust.
Hey, JP, are you familiar with running Windows 7? Because Rich is having difficulty finding the setting to lower the microphone gain a little bit, and I'm over here running Linux, so for me it's easy. There's a nice little picture of a microphone, and I click on it, and there's an up and down slide bar, and it's so easy a retarded monkey could do it.
Okay.
I'm not a retarded monkey, but you know.
An advanced monkey. So if you can hear me, Richard, what you do is you will see if you move your mouse towards the pictures in the Windows 7. Are you on Skype or on Google?
He's on the Google Hangout. Hey, Rich, why don't you unmute so you can like have a direct conversation?
I don't know the Google Hangout to turn.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about the operating system.
System volume is available by right-clicking the speaker icon near the clock on the bottom right-hand corner and setting adjust audio properties, I think. I'm not sure. I don't use 7. Not very much.
That be any better?
That sounds nice.
All right. Just right.
Now there is audio. There is audio. You're clean. You're clear. You're not overdriven. You're not overcompressed or anything like that. So it's lovely.
Yeah, nice HD microphone helps.
Yeah.
Right-click the speaker, go to recording devices, and then it should give you a list of them, and then you can click and edit them and change the levels under there. Does that help?
Rich, are you still there, man?
Because I'm using Windows 7.
On the Google Hangout here, Rich's video seems to be frozen and his mic is on mute. I don't know if he locked up and he's going to rejoin, or if he's there, or what the situation is. Rich just kind of seems to have disappeared into like a little abyss here for a moment.
Yeah, so Dave, probably you could also turn your Skype input volume down by about a third. That would do. That would do both of them, because it's the same feed.
How's this?
Oh,
Wow.
no, you want to turn it down, not up. Down.
I did turn it
We can
down.
hear you. You turn it right down.
I
Turn
did
it down
turn it
like
down.
half as much.
Turn it way down. How's that? It's way down.
A little bit up now.
Okay, how's that?
That's good. Well, it was until we got all this background noise.
How's that? That's
No,
the
the last one was good. This is now too loud again.
How's that?
Perfect.
Perfect?
Remember that. Don't let it adjust. Uncheck auto adjust. make it
auto adjust is auto
really
adjust
good.
is
That's
forever unchecked. I don't use auto adjust. Rich is.
So it's gone back up again.
Yeah,
What
it has.
What the hell? I do not have auto adjust turned on, so I don't know what the.
Something
Hold
is
on.
auto adjusted because
Let
you
me-
just come. Yeah.
Okay, let me check my. No, the little thing that says allow Skype to automatically adjust my mixer levels, that is unchecked. That is totally not there. And remember, I'm not talking through
Maybe
Skype
Google is
anyway.
doing
I'm talking through Google Hangout, so I'm not talking through Skype anyway. So that's why I was talking about adjusting the operating system mic settings, and not, because that's what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with the operating system settings. I'm not dealing with the settings on any particular program. I'm going straight to the OS. I'm adjusting the operating system
What's
directly.
going on, Dave? You're getting louder and louder and more distorted and more distorted. It's quite in something. In some way, it's like that's the opposite of what we want. So it's a good lesson. This is all lessons. You know, we don't. It's not a matter of pride, but
Testing 1 2 3.
we
Testing
just
1 2
need
3.
to get
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 and 3. Testing. How were we?
Okay, well, if you can leave it there and save and apply and okay.
Okay, well, let's hope to God we can do that.
Now it's gone back.
What the?
Quite strange.
No.
Yeah, it did. What in the hell is bringing it back? That is weird, because I lower it down, and then the Ghost of Christmas Past or something is bringing it up. I don't know what in the hell.
You might have another program that is also monitoring the volume and
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
to adjust itself.
Shouldn't
This I
be.
cannot help you with. It's a
Yeah, I know.
Linux secret.
Obviously, there is something like that going on, but there shouldn't be, because I don't have anything like that installed to go on. Rich is going to rejoin us through Skype because he's having some weird difficulties with Google Plus right now for some reason. Maybe it's all the silver flares we're getting hit with. I don't know. But I'm pulling him in through Skype. Here he is.
Good afternoon, Richard.
Good afternoon. I'm still working on it, so I'm going to mute my microphone until, I get it fixed. So I will be here in theory.
Okay, excellent. So while Dave is trying to troubleshoot his
Testing 1 2
stuff,
3. Testing 1 2 3.
why don't we
Testing,
talk
1 2 3.
about some good stuff?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Apparently you can't hear me. I'll maybe raise.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
We hear you fine.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Good.
So,
if it can stay there, that's great. Go ahead, Kristen.
I just had a couple questions. I don't know where most of the people on this call are located right now. I can tell a couple of you have some accents, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure. I don't know where JP or Eli live. So.
All right. Well, JP, this is I. I'm the host of Osprey Radio and Everbeyond. This is the show that we're on, doing this experimental thingy. I'm English. I live in Scotland, and I'm broadcasting from London, Ireland, and Scotland, and Nevada.
Awesome.
Dave.
I'm Eli. I'm from North Carolina, and yeah, I run Osprey Radio Networks.
Okay, I am.
Who hung her up? Or was it something I said?
Nobody. It's not showing anything hanging up on my end. Who hung up? No.
All right, Kirsten is just.
Okay, now it says she dropped. I'm going to add her back in. She's on a cell phone, so it probably just messed up. So I'm just going to pull her back in.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Lovely, perfect.
We hear you. Trying to bring Kristen back.
Well, there we go. Maybe, hang on. It's maybe it's time for a tune. I want to play a tune. This is called "Missing Time," and it's the basis for one of our outlets in 432. It's called "Missing Time."
The mailbox belonging to
Kristen.
is full and cannot accept new messages at this time. To leave a callback number, press 5, or please try again later. Goodbye.
Welcome back to Everbeyond on Osprey Radio and dozens of other things. And we're tonight simulcasting with loads of other places on an experimental basis, here by Time Warrior, Dave Kelso, and we're joined by Kristen and GeneralTate.
No, Kristen lost signal and I couldn't get her back, so I don't know what happened.
Or maybe her battery's flat. But she might maybe try to join in later. It was nice to have her. And Eli Sanford, Reverend of. So, yeah, we were just kind of saying where we were and what we were doing. So we might as well continue that and, you know, just kind of introduce ourselves. So Eli, were you halfway through the thing when everything went haywire?
What do you mean? Sorry, got lost my train of thought there. What were we talking about here?
Well, we were just kind of, Kirsten put a point across, and we were sort of responding to that. If anybody remembers what was going on when everything... See, that's the thing. That's what happens with these Skype calls.
Yeah, I was jamming to the music.
Do you like that?
Yeah, that was really good.
What was that? What was that?
That was called Missing Time. Is a track that I wrote last week. I needed to make some tunes to make some jingles for the station because obviously nobody wants to get hit by the Roman Empire, and so copyright things. And so I thought, right, well, I'm a composer and a musician. I can make my own stuff. So I just got some. I just pulled a few tunes together. I set them to 432.
You should you should set up a Reverb Nation account and upload your stuff onto there.
I have. I've got a SoundCloud. It's Prometheus on SoundCloud.
Yeah, SoundCloud tends to be too limited, and if you want to pay for the extra add-ons, they charge ridiculous prices. Reverb Nation, the free account, you can upload basically any file size up to 8 megs is free, regardless of the length of it. And of course, if you have the pay account, you can upload up to 100 megs. But they don't cap you on length or anything like that. So I mean, whatever you can fit into the allotted spot, then you could put in there, and they don't dick you around. And you could upload as many files as you want. So you could upload hundreds of files to Reverb Nation, and they're not gonna be like, no, screw you. Whereas like SoundCloud, you quickly hit this limit, and they're like, nope, if you want to go past this limit, you got to pay ungodly sums of money.
Well, I don't really mind having a limit because, enough's enough. Like I was saying, that's one of the questions that I have. When is enough, or what is enough? Now, this is something Eli was talking about. So, yeah, can I throw that over to you, GeneralTate? What is enough? What is, there's where I come from is that there's this old thing in the Tao Te Ching that says, the man who knows when enough is enough will always have enough. So what's your feeling about enough?
Well, from being being a, red-blooded Yankee Doodle American myself, come from the quote-unquote land of the free, home of the brave, quote-unquote, from the traditional sense. To me, yeah.
Land of the thief, home of the slave.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, given the corporate status of what we are and what we have been for the last 130 years, yeah, unfortunately, we're no longer the noble experiment that the Founding Fathers set out to create. We're just a corporate oligarchy. But anyway, to me, I mean, I kind of go back and look at history. I mean, the American Revolution, for example, it took probably a good 25, 30 years before, the colonists had been fed up enough with, the British rule to finally do something about it. And it wasn't until, to me, it's like, I don't think people are necessarily going to do anything until they've got nothing to lose, until their back is against the wall. And I don't mean that in a negative context. I mean, I just think what's going to happen is if people can find other alternatives to doing, having to go to fists and to arms, if you will, people are going to do it. And the only time people are going to actually go, and especially knowing how the psychology of the average American is, if an average American can find alternatives to bloodshed, he will. It's not like the famous stereotype of an American being oh yeah, if you disagree with me, I'm gonna grab my gun and go take care of you. It's not that kind of thing. It's like if Americans can find alternatives and find other ways to be successful, they will. But
if you back an American or any person for that matter up against the wall, you know, look out, you know, because now they've got no other option but to, you know, take back all the lost ground that they got taken from them. And I think that's what's going to happen in this country. People, you know, the politicians and the political elite are going to push so hard and so reverently that, you know, people are going to eventually kind of get shocked into awakening and realize, oh crap, what just happened, and, you know, realize, hey, we've got a problem, we need to deal with it, and, you know, we need to start fresh, we need to start somewhere. And, you know, that's just kind of my perspective given the current stage of events. But, you know, people being people, you've got to be patient, and you've got to realize, you know, people are going to be people, and people have got their processes that they've got to go through, and, you know, it's not going to be an overnight thing. You know, the American Revolution wasn't an overnight thing. No revolution is an overnight thing. It just doesn't happen that way. It's not like in the movies where, you know, it's, you know, it happens. Things like that just don't happen, you know, at least not in the current state of society and the current way of things, you know. It's just gonna take more time, you know, for people to realize the full extent of what's going on, because there's still a lot of disillusion and still a lot of lack of awareness on the part of average Americans and a lot of people around the globe. I mean, you know, but as Dave or Time Warrior has said multiple times, you know, the awakening process is a process, and it's something that needs to be respected, and it's something that that everybody goes at their own pace. And, you know, people will awaken in time. It's just, you know, to what extent and how that has yet to be seen. But, you know, I'm just looking at it from a sense of patience. I've got hope for humanity. I'm not all doom and gloom. Oh, all is lost. I mean, you know, it's just, you know, things are going to get ugly for a while. You know, things are going to be ugly. You know, the globalists are showing their true colors. They're showing what they are and what they always have been. They're not, you know, it's just part of the global chess game, if you will. You know, and you just got to learn to be patient and, you know, outsmart them. And they're already starting to show their slip-ups and errors because they're losing patience. And it's just kind of playing the game of, you know, who blinks first. Well, the good news is I think the globalists are beginning to blink, and they just haven't gotten the slightest sense to realize that they're blinking. And, you know, I think overall it's just going to be spreading the truth and being patient and, you know, using discernment and awareness and knowing where to strike and what to do that will win the day in the end, you know. And that's my personal view.
I've always felt that it's very difficult to force somebody to wake up. It's like trying to get a flower to bud. You can't make it do it any faster, can you? There's nothing you can do. You just have to wait.
It's like trying to give a cat a bath.
Yeah, or anything. Yeah, cats are perfect examples of that's exactly how humans are.
Well,
on the inside.
You can't force it, but you can you know, tend the soil and add the fertilizer and, you know, and have high hopes for that bud to come out.
You know what I've noticed that the best way of doing that is inspiring people instead of forcing. Because you got to realize that because we've all been indoctrinated, you know, people have a set of belief system that says, okay, here's the parameters for what reality absolutely has to be, and it can't be anything else. Nothing else exists outside of that. So if you're operating with outside of their parameters, then they're looking at you like you're the pink elephant flying down the street that's not supposed to exist. And their belief systems say, no, that can't be. But their logical mind knows that they're looking at it and they're seeing it. So it sends them into a state of cognitive dissonance. And that state is like they're at a choice point. They can either be inspired and ask questions and be like, wow, why is that happening? I need to explore this. Or they can get terrified and run like hell. So when we realize this, then we know that when people react negatively to us operating outside of the parameters, it's not a bad thing. They're just in shock. Let them go on their merry way if they want to go. Don't try to force them and go, oh, you're an asleep sheep and you need to drag into our way. And come on, man, what's wrong with you? Wake up. Just let them go. As a matter of fact, your respect for their belief systems and their right to have it will blow their mind more than anything, because they have a belief system that says no one can respect their belief systems. Everybody has to be adversarial. No one can be nice. They have this belief system. So as soon as you try to be nice, they automatically think you're up to something. Oh, they must be pulling a scam. So then they try to hit you hard to call your bluff. But no matter how much you hit a tree, it doesn't cease to be a tree. You're not going to hit a tree enough times that it magically changes into an elephant simply just maybe because you believe it should be an elephant. No, it's not going to do that. So if you're genuine and you have integrity, and you're truly being yourself to the fullest, and you're not, playing an act like be different like everybody else, haha, you're literally genuinely being who you are, then no matter how much anybody tries to hit you, you're not going to change into something else because you're not bluffing in the first place. And eventually they'll wear themselves out like the 800-pound fat guy trying to run down the block, and they'll have to stop and think, and then they have a choice to make. Either they can then start to ask questions and go, why is this happening? Or they can just, go into fear and be like, screw that, I'm not going to deal with that. And they walk away and they look away and they stick their head in the sand. And okay, fine, that's their right to do that. And when you can respect that, that's how you inspire people to change. But if you're like, no, you have to think like me, the New World Order is here, and you got to fear the New World Order and wake up and come on, you stupid sheep. If you're just ranting and raving like that at everybody, then, people are going to turn you off. And that's one hard lesson Alex Jones has had to learn. He's noticed He's gotten more listeners since he's calmed down a bit more, and he realized that all the fear stuff is just playing into the hands of the globalists. I'm not saying he's a calm person by any means, but he's calmed down a lot more than he was because he got a kick to the ego, like, oh, wait a minute, I'm actually doing what the globalists want by getting all fear porny, so maybe I should, chill, and then more people will be receptive, and that's what's happened. He hasn't gotten it perfect yet. He still can be an uppity little bitch at times, but he's a lot more chill than he was, say, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, so... yeah, inspire people. That's how to wake them up, but there's no guarantee, and you have to respect free will choice. Inspire people by being you, and respect their free will choice to either accept or reject the inspiration. Red pill, blue pill. It's up to them.
As Dave's voice reverberates around the inside of our skulls. It's funny, you just got louder. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to bitch about the audio anymore. But it's just maybe next time. I'm going to play a tune. I did another thing the other day, and this was a poem. Somebody published a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. So it was a real Poe poem. Oh, nice stuff. Anyway. And I thought, that's very pretty. So I read that. And I played a little bit of guitar behind it. So I'm just transferring it across right now. You are listening to a multicast, a multimedia multicast here, based on Wolf Spirit Radio and TNSR, Everbeyond, Scottish Sovereigns, Osprey Net, Google Plus,
Paradigm Shift and Educational Comedy, everything, yeah. Everything, yeah.
Indeed. So, where is it? It's under D, Dream Within Dream. There we go. This is called Dream Within Dream. So it's a poem read over a little tune. There we go. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow, you are not wrong who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore the last gone?
All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep, while I weep, while I weep. Oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I save one from a pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Within a dream. Welcome back. Little break there. Drift away on a dream. A different thing. I keep doing these things. Anyway, so where were we? Enough is enough. Was enough enough? Harumph. So basically, what about, here's the thing. We've all been doing this. How much feedback do you get? I'm actually quite pleased with the feedback that I'm getting now. It's a nice steady trickle. It's not too much of a flow. I'm not getting loads of emails. So that means I can answer things. Or not, as the case may be.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I don't do email very much. I'm hearing myself echo, but I don't do email very much. I hate email, but I get all sorts of feedback on YouTube and Facebook and instant messaging and all sorts of different stuff. So yeah, I get it that way, and it's a little here and a little there, and enough to know that I'm doing a good job. But it's not like this ginormous overflow, mega flood of comments to where I feel that I'm just buried under them.
Well, Dave, it would be very difficult for you to deal with the more comments than you do get, because you answer in full. Let's put it that way.
Very true.
Yeah, I get a lot of stuff on social media. It's not a lot, but it at least you know that what you're doing means something to somebody.
Do you know? I want to tell you this story, because this is something that really did work. And I did a reading for somebody on one of my free readings on the shows, and I said to her, "You've got a real talent for using crystals and stuff. Have you ever thought about using orgonite?" I said, "Google orgonite, ORGONITE." And 1 year later, in the post, I get this box. And in it is the most amazing orgonite pyramid, the most beautiful thing, full of jewels and sparkles and silver and gold things, and just the most incredible thing from this listener who I said I recommended her. She's gone into business doing this stuff. It's just beautiful. That's one of that really told me that something's landed.
Yeah.
I do love it when people send me pyramids. Rob Potter sent me a pyramid for doing Cobra's voice. Cobra, this guy. I do his voice for a lot of the interviews because I've got the equipment that can do the voice changing. And so as a gift for doing some private stuff for him, he sent me a pyramid. So if anybody people do send me pyramids. If you want to send me a pyramid, I love pyramids. Anything pyramidical. The more Cheops, the better. But I don't mind anything. Did you know that early Gillette razors were actually supplied with a pyramid? And they really did work, and they stopped doing it because nobody bought the razors anymore. But anyway, thus the beginning of built-in obsolescence. Meanwhile, how's Harumph? GeneralTate? Somebody. Engage with me. Engage. Number one.
No, I didn't know about that, about the razors. That's interesting.
So that's a kind of very visceral form of feedback. That really has started to work for me.
I'm chatting with Kristen.
Are you? That's very nice. Does she have any messages? Ask her if there are any messages she wishes to give out, or if we can call her on any other mains, on any other device. Is she near a device?
She's gotten.
We can
gotten
address the device according to its IP number.
Would you like to know what happened to her?
What happened, Dave?
Well, she got distracted by, let's just say, some quote-unquote real-life, personal, physical reality things that she needs to go contend with at the moment, and she doesn't know if she can make it back this time around, but if she can, she will.
Well, thank her for her input so far, and
she has a question.
Later, but she has a question.
She says, how much longer do you think it will be? So how much time do I have left here?
We have 42 minutes. So, 42 minutes of...
JP says 42 minutes.
Yes, I do. There, you don't have to read that out.
you had a very creepy moment there just then.
Really? How so?
Yeah. Yeah, you sounded like the computer Hal talking to Dave.
I'm sorry, Dave, but I'm afraid I can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you want something better? Hold on. Here's one. How about we have Bill Clinton? Hold on. We got to do this. We got to have Bill Clinton explain how his relations with Monica Lewinsky has helped with the New World Order. Bill Clinton, are you here?
I'm here, Dave. Hello, everybody. How you doing this evening?
Fascinating.
Somebody plays this. The Spock fascinating. That's great.
Meanwhile.
So, Mr. Clinton, how much butthurt is the NWO going through over this awakening process? Please describe the butthurt for us, Mr. Clinton.
Well, Kissinger's been turning my butt into red cauterized buttermilk. I've been taking it out on Monica by slapping her in the Oval Office and hanging Obama from a tree and beating him with a baton. I'm really not having a good time right now. It's getting much worse. I don't think Mrs. Clinton can stare to look at me right now.
So, did Hillary finally get the surgery to have her dong removed, or how's that going?
She got it made bigger.
Actually, talking about presidents and their gender status, what's your take on Michael LaVaughn Robinson / Michelle Obama concept as espoused by Joan Rivers 2 weeks before she died?
I like me a little bit of black man. I can't even say that straight. God. Clinton.
He likes him some. Get Hillary and Michael Obama and whatever, little Colin Powell, whatever. He got yourself an Oreo cookie there.
Yeah, it's been very strange in the White House, isn't it? We've got Hillary and Michael. I mean, Obama even says Michael and I.
Ugh, I haven't heard that.
It was a few years ago, and it was some sort of naval thing, and he said, "Yeah, and Michael and I." We had on Strange Universe, we had what's her name? oh God, she was on Friday anyway. She was an old friend of Obama's, and he's a crack smoking pothead. He was always on the always on the borrow. He was always asked, and if anybody gave him a joint, he would just smoke the entire thing. He would just go, and just smoke it completely. He's not really a presidential material, to be honest.
Well, I mean, how many of them actually are?
They're scumbag material. Too bad we don't have Paul Pelletier here. He probably could have done a good impression of the North Korean president, and we could add a thing with the North Korean president and Bill Clinton, or having an argument or something. Yeah, I have a question. What is Darth Vader's opinion on things that are going on? Darth Vader, are you here?
I don't think Darth Vader made it just yet.
Oh, you're not. Your voice isn't up to that impression.
Well, I just don't know how it would sound over the radio. I mean, I know it works between... I don't know. I just don't know if it would scramble or what it would do.
I think it would be fine.
Okay, I'm going to test this, see if it works. This is Darth Vader. Did that work?
So far, it was a little garbled, but it worked. It could be clearer.
Yeah.
Might need to work on that one.
Well, we already heard from Spock, so how about if Mr. Sulu could join us?
My name is George Takei, Hikaru Sulu, reporting. Hello?
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Shields! Shields!
Yeah. God. Love those voice impressions.
Hey, boo-boo, that's a funny-looking ranger with the pointed ears, eh? And he's got a blue shirt.
So, in terms of leading edge, cutting edge consciousness, paradigm shifting.
Cut the blue dress.
Hello, Kermit the Frog here.
That was not me this time.
This is Paradigm Shift in Educational Comedy, the lighter side of genocide.
Hey-ho, this is Kermit the Frog's clone, speaking with Kermit the Frog. We've been cloned, just like Obama.
But hurt, I feel in you. A buck I do not give.
Yogi, that sounds like Yoda. Hey, Mr. Yoda, sir. You want to stick your lightsaber in the bear, hey?
Okay, for those of you who don't really know what's going on, if I may fill everybody in, Everbeyond on Osprey Radio tonight is joined by a chain of connections that seem to be going through Dave Kelso, otherwise known as Time Warrior, or Paradigm Shift and Educational Comedy. He's always posting things on my page. He's the one with all the big pictures. Anyway, so that's this is what him and his crew get up to during nights or days. What else do you do, guys? Do you do jokes? No, better not do jokes. That could get bad.
We've done quite a bit.
How about subject of gender equality and empowerment. Hang on, let's just put gender equality and empowerment.
Oh, but we don't have Katerina here to speak on that.
Well, let's hear from a male's perspective. How do you see equality?
Oh, I've ranted on and on and on and on about that stuff before. I mean, I think humans are. I think humans are humans, and I think that emotions are human, and that gender issues are just another like divide and conquer tactic that the media uses. You know, they'll pit people against each other with gender, race, religion, politics, anything they could think of to divide and distract. And you know, I think we need to be coming together, like not in that New World Order sort of way, and not in that fake Nazi utopia, everybody holding hands around the bonfire sort of way, but just, you know, with the respect for, you know, for diversity, that you know, not everybody's gonna agree, not everybody's gonna get along, but that doesn't mean we all gotta like kill each other and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's the same whether you're talking about males and females, blacks and whites, Democrats and Republicans, whatever. It's, you know, we're all human. We all have human emotions. We all have similarities. We all have differences. And, you know, if we can learn to respect that, then, you know, if someone hates someone else or doesn't like someone else or whatever, then it doesn't have to lead to, like, bloodshed and crime and war and genocide and all this other stupid and subjugation and harassment and all the stupidity that we have to deal with. Doesn't have to go there.
I agree with you. No, I just think we should, you know, just go ahead and make it all legal and step away from a minute and, you know, just calm down. I mean, you know, people are just people. You know, it doesn't matter what they're, you know, if they're like, you know, it doesn't matter who they like. It's just people. You know, just everybody should accept everybody. Doesn't matter.
I think everybody should accept everybody's equal rights. Like, you have the right to dislike somebody. Doesn't mean, you know, that you have to, like, beat each other over the heads with clubs like cavemen. You can just avoid each other and go work with the people you do like and not go harass the people you don't. You know, you don't have to be all William Black about it.
GeneralTate, equality.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much, you know, you got to respect everybody's right to, you know, associate with who they want to associate with and disassociate with who they want to disassociate with. And, you know, equality is really a mind state. I mean, you know, just not looking down on anybody with a sense of superiority. I mean, we all have our strengths and our weaknesses, and we're all capable of some of us are capable of being good mechanics, some of us are great philosophers, some of us are great mathematicians. And my personal view on it is we just need to respect each other for the skills that we do have and that we can build upon, and, you know, support each other in our weaknesses, you know. And that is the only way that the human race is going to really prosper in an intergalactic sense, is when we can all, I mean, unite together on common interests. I mean, we don't have to necessarily get along with each other. I mean, there's obviously still going to be social groups and, you know, cliques, and there's going to be, you know, there's going to be birds of a feather flocking together. But I mean, at least people, when people mature to that point of mind state, you know, people will be able to at least realize, hey, you know, we may have differences in opinion or differences in cultural taste or whatever, but we're still human, and we can still help each other and benefit each other at the same time, and still, you know, coexist as a society, you know. And that's how humanity will prosper, because in the current state of things, you know, the reason why there's such a lack of equality is because everybody's too busy trying to, you know, force their will on each other and saying, you know, you have to conform to my lifestyle. No, you have to conform to my lifestyle. I'm superior to you. No, I'm superior to you. It's just this, you know, nation states dick wagging contest. I mean, what was the Cold War? It was just it was a military industrial complex, you know, dick wagging contest. You know, who could build more ICBMs, who could do what in space, who could do, you know, this and that. Sure, it gave us a lot of technological advancements. Sure, it gave us the internet. Sure, it gave us a lot of wonderful things. I'm not bashing it. It happened. We can't change what already happened. But, you know, until we can realize, hey, you know, we're all human. We all have, you know, our differences and, you know, our similarities. We just need to respect, you know, our similarities and our differences and just learn how to work around those things. And, you know, that's when society will become, you know, a coexisting society. And I think in the current scheme of things, we're headed there. It's just, it's a long process, you know. And that's pretty much my take on it.
You see, it's a very interesting thing that everything, as we know, starts from thought. And thought creates our speech and our actions. And so equality has to exist within our thought. We are now, I mean, we you know, some people are starting to recognize that it's even within the language that we use that is violent or not violent, that is harmless or harmful. So I think sometimes it's a good way to you know, how we can change others is, like Dave was saying, you know, we model it, we express it.
True.
As an example of, and it's the idea, they call it a non-violent communication, and it's a very interesting, and it's essentially it's a way, it's a step towards, in a way that, you know, I don't know, it's a step towards a way of relating to each other in a non-violent way of thinking and a non-violent way of being, you know, so that we start peace instead of starting war, we open our mouths.
You reminded me of something. People have a hard time getting, you know, their minds around things like, you know, thoughts, emotions, and belief systems and all that, literally creating physical reality. Well, here's a very simple way to understand it that I think most people could wrap their minds around. What came first, the jet plane or the idea that something like that might be able to exist? I mean, we didn't go searching through the forest and find these jet plane trees and, you know, picking jet planes off the tree and, you know, here now we have jet planes. No, that had to start in the non-physical, in the realms of imagination, in the realms of emotion and belief and thought. It had to start there. So thought does create reality. Without human thought, everything we know of that's human wouldn't be here at all. All the things we take for granted would not be here. And, you know, so that's one way people can look at it, as far as people who have a hard time thinking, oh, well, it doesn't matter what you think and feel and this and that and believe, because that has nothing to do with physical reality. Oh, it's created physical reality. You would not have computers or internet radio or jet planes or rocket ships or satellites or cars or boats or anything without thought creating reality. Sorry, wouldn't have it.
Well, exactly. And so the quality of reality that we create is an entirely direct reference to our quality of thought that creates our actions and our speech as we vibrate our way through the world. You agree?
Yep.
So if we want to create a world of dominion, we have to act in a dominion manner. i.e., we have to embody the principles which we believe in. You know, that things should be fair and the da 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 da. So this is what I mean. These are the questions that that are coming up in my mind.
But if we're going to create a world of Dominion, let's keep the Jem'Hadar home, okay? No Jem'Hadar. Thank you.
For those who do not know, a Jem'Hadar is a tiny little poisoned pen, fingertip thimble type thing for injecting poison into the neck of the unsuspecting victim who crosses the Bene Gesserit. Is that about right?
I was actually making a reference to Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Rich got the joke.
Yeah, I got it too. I knew your reference, but I also knew from Star Trek.
Or you can think of the first episode of Star Trek Enterprise where Q introduces himself and it shows him like a soldier and he's all pasty white in the face and he's got these injector things going into his neck and he's basically a soldier.
That wasn't Enterprise. That was Next Generation.
Or Next Generation. My bad. I'm thinking of the Enterprise D already. I'm just thinking of the USS Enterprise. Next Generation. Yes.
You're listening to Sean David Martin.
Sorry about that. I missed that. Wrong button.
Oh, fascinating. Love that. But yeah,
Meanwhile, back on the Excelsior, Mr. Sulu is.
As I was saying, sir. Yeah, as I was saying, Q's standing there. He's got like all this stuff hanging off of him, and you can see all the. I think one of them he gets injured and he falls over, and then he hits a button on his wrist, and then the drugs go into his veins, and he pops back upright. It's basically Jem'Hadar are basically alien versions of drugged up super soldiers. That's essentially what they are.
Star Trek did a lot of whistleblowing. I also find it interesting the idea of Khan, like the Wrath of Khan. He was supposed to be a genetically modified, frickin' leader in the late 1990s, and of course this theme, was originating in the 1960s with Gene Roddenberry, and Roddenberry was an insider. So to me, this directly relates to MK Ultra, super soldiers, military contractors, the military-industrial complex, and of course, at first it didn't make sense when watching the show, but now looking back in hindsight, it's like, oh, well, he was an insider. So obviously, in a world of Star Trek, things like the Illuminati, the New World Order, and all their plans would be public knowledge because they're like well past that. That was 20th, 21st century stuff. That would be history. But for the people in the 20th and 21st century actually watching Star Trek, it's just fiction. But Roddenberry was an insider, so he always leaked things out through Star Trek. I always loved that.
When we started to find out these black projects and stuff like that, it turns out, all the Marvel comics, these were genetic experiments that they've been doing since the 1930s. All these superheroes, these are people. These are real people, and stuff happens to them, and so the comic writers get their ideas, and who knows? The comic writers might indeed be these super soldiers who've got these other lives, because the other thing we find out about super soldiers is that they're like ordinary people who get turned on. They're switched on, right? And they also have access to time travel technology, which just makes things very, very weird. And
of course, the difference being is that in the Marvel comic world, superheroes are public knowledge, but in the real world, it's all kept hushie-hushie.
That's right, because in the Marvel comic world, or in all these other alternate universes, it's like everybody knows. It's like a joke. Everybody knows that everything's going on. Everybody knows in the outside, looking into this kind of goldfish bowl that we call the world. And the goldfish bowl is filled with all these lies, and we're swimming around in all these lies. And outside, everybody can breathe fresh air.
Hey, JP, have you ever
what's
watched
that?
Marvel Comics' new series, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I have not.
I love that thing. I mean, they totally reference in things like 9/11 and WikiLeaks and all the conspiracy theory stuff into their show. So it's like, even though, yeah, in their little universe, it's public knowledge that, people like Captain America and Hydra and this and that and all that exists, at the same time, there's still a lot of things that are kept secret. So in that universe, you have WikiLeaks that is there leaking information. You still have all of the same sort of freedom movements and things that you have in our current timeline. It's just on a bit of a different parallel, to where the public in that universe is more informed than the public of our universe, but you still have all this stuff. So I kind of thought that was neat.
So that film, Galaxy Quest, with Alan Rickman playing Spock, turns out to be funny because there are races out there who watch these things, and because there's a joke within a joke within a joke, because like people think that haha, they're aliens saying these are historical documents. And they're recordings of Star Trek that were broadcast and received by these people, and they built the ships to the specification, but they didn't know how to fly them. They didn't have the crew, the ability of the crew. So there's disclosure going on in all of the almost every science fiction film is telling some kind of truth, and it just gets funnier and funnier and funnier because as you meet more and more people who have been involved on the inside, that they have been watching these things. I had Simon Parks on my show last week, and he was actually now. Have you guys heard? Now this is a very British thing, but there was a British version of Gene Roddenberry. His name was Jerry Anderson, and he made a series called Thunderbirds, which is probably the most famous one. Anybody heard of that?
I have on VHS a very rare to find Thunderbirds 2086, recorded off of TV. I mean, I've looked to see if that's on DVD and stuff, and it's nowhere. All the other Thunderbird stuff is out there, but Thunderbirds 2086 seems to be a rare find, and I've got it on VHS.
Very good, Dave. Maybe you could share it on YouTube.
Yeah, I could try. I gotta find it and get it off the tape and whatever.
That would be lovely. Anyway, so what we find is that there was a show called Stingray, and in Stingray there is a mermaid, a literal female who can swim, through water and things like that. She has the. And they have the harp thing. Which one's the harp? Is this the? Yeah. This is very. There's the underwater. There's this lady. Maria, Aqua Maria. Yeah, it's all very lovely. And he was made by the government. His mother worked for MI5 and the NSA, and she made him sit down in front of these shows that were essentially puppet shows, but they disclosed so much. And I knew it was Fireball XO. Do you remember Team America? You saw the film Team America, yeah?
No, I haven't, but I've heard of it.
All right. Well, it's using this. It's called Super Marionation. It's very high tech marionettes, and. Yeah, that's what Thunderbirds is. But they had this other show which was called Joe 90, in which a 9-year-old boy, blonde-haired, green eyes, was basically his mind was injected with a program, and he could become anything, and he could become a pilot or an assassin or this or that, and he was sent on these missions, and because he was a 9-year-old boy, nobody suspected him. Everybody go, ha ha ha, a 9-year-old boy? Yes, of course you are. Yes, of course you are an evil villain. No. But anyway, This is a pure example of Montauk, because they were using young boys to program their minds.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would recommend Joe 90 if you ever get the chance to have a look, because you know, a few shows of that and you think, aha, if this is a puppet show about a reality, you know, and these must have been really expensive to make in those days. You know, they were very high quality toys, things. You know. Anyway, go ahead.
You know what I like? I don't know if you're aware, but there's a lot of whistleblowing TV series and movies that have been coming out. I mean, I know you're obviously aware of Fringe. They did a lot of whistleblowing stuff in Babylon 5 and things like that, but there's a new series called The 100. Have you ever watched that?
No, but that sounds like a good one to watch. I just
good.
want to catch up on Fringe, Dave. One of the interesting things in Fringe that I'm sure you caught was the name Bishop. Do you remember the little scene where he talked about how the name used to be Bischoff, but it was changed to Bishop?
Yeah, the whole Nazi things. They were talking about Operation Paperclip.
Bingo, yeah.
Exactly, I love that. So
what Fringe was about was not about one person, but it was about the whole project. I mean, essentially that's... But the interesting thing is that the other world is essentially the world where the Nazis won.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, wasn't there a movie like that? Wasn't there a movie like that where
there was a Star
won?
Trek, wasn't there? Wasn't there
there was
Star Trek?
Yeah, there was a few of they did a few Nazi themes in a bunch of different Star Treks.
And there was another one. There was a Roman Empire was still running. I think that was it. You know, there was still a Caesar, and it was just like Roman. You know, like no different. You know, just like exactly how it is. Yeah.
It's like alluding to the fact that, you know, in our universe the Nazis have won. The only difference is that we're not allowed to know that. You know, the Nazis are running everything.
Well, it's we're in the pre-exposure. You see, the thing is, you can't see them until they've exposed themselves. They haven't really quite exposed themselves yet. That's what really the event is, I think. But we're going to see
like the old John Carpenter movie, They Live. Basically, they're everywhere.
Yeah, John Carpenter, They Live. I love that. I love that movie. It's just like, you know, you got the Statue of Liberty up there holding the torch, and people don't know what it is. They don't realize it's the goddess Semiramis, otherwise also known as another alias as Moloch, who is holding up the torch of illumination right at the port, basically saying, you know, you think this is the land of the free and the home of the brave, but it's really the land of the thief and the home of the slave, and we're telling you, we're admitting it to you in the symbolism, but you don't see it. We're hiding it in plain sight. You don't see it. Kind of like how the penis of Osiris, the phallic of, you know, the frickin', you know, monument in DC is overshadowing the Oval Office, you know, penis going into the vagina, and there's a lot of symbolism dealing with sex and the occult and so on and so forth. Washington DC is littered with it.
Oh, I do like a bit of symbolism. Anyway, yeah, so this is a good thing. Hey, talking of Egypt, I don't know if I've spoken about this much, but one of the things I've been researching recently is yeast. And yeast was given to us by the gods of Egypt, wasn't it? Anybody know anything about this?
Yeah, I know some things about this. I'm not like an expert on it, but I do know that when you take yeast and combine it with sugar, what you have is fungus growing inside of you. The sugar feeds the fungus. The yeast is the fungus. The cooking process does not kill the fungus in the yeast.
No,
That's
sugar,
right.
water, and yeast. You basically making mash for moonshine there, aren't you?
Yeah, essentially.
That's right.
But the thing is look at everything we eat. Everything we eat is either an alcohol base, a sugar base, or a yeast base. You combine all that together in the body, and what you have is a breeding ground for fungus and cancer.
Okay, so my premise
Lovely
is that
thought.
that was deliberate,
Oh yeah.
like a slow poison.
Uh-huh.
But not only that, it was a nanotechnology because it influences your consciousness. It drives your consciousness lower to just being craving foods and things and stuff and
When people
addictions.
think of technology,
Imagine.
they think of machines, but people don't realize that biology is a form of technology. DNA is a 4-bit programming code. That's been proven.
I need a decompiler for that.
That's what I think.
I'm sure
that's what I think the awakening process is.
That's what the Genome Project is.
Yeah.
That's what the awakening process is. It's the decompiler.
Well, apparently. Okay, so here's the thing. This is what I've gotten recently, right? That there's 12 levels of our DNA. That's what the 12 strands are. They're not on the same physical plane.
Exactly.
They're on like astral level and emotion and mental level and soul level, and it's when they all turn together and interchange when they're all kind of concurrent in the same place. And we are together, which means that all of our bodies, all those different ones, our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, our soul body, our causal body, our personality, are all sitting in the same place, all together. That's what all together means.
Well, they fit all together, but probably not all in the same dimension and time space.
Well, that's the idea. That's what meditation is.
Yeah.
That's where you still yourself. You still bring everything to the same point.
From what
all your strands are together.
Yeah. From what I understand, as far as actually visually being able to see the different strands, the different helixes, it's basically one strand per dimensional level. So in the lower 3D, you can see 2 helixes. As we've gone with our awareness through the upper 3D into the lower 3D, we're starting to actually be able to physically see the 3 and 4 helixes now. And of course, the majority of the DNA is considered to be quote unquote junk DNA, but no, that's just a part of the DNA that's in the quantum flux, and we just can't see it on our level of reality. As we continue to upshift our consciousness, we're able to see more, and that's why these other helixes are slowly starting to appear. It's not that they weren't there and all of a sudden, people are just growing them all of a sudden, like, wow, they're mutants. No. It's just our awareness is able to start seeing more of what we consider to be the quote-unquote junk DNA, but it's not junk at all. It's quantum.
Quantum foam, yes. And use that for your beard. Well, Anyway. So we're about 10 minutes away from the top of this show. Obviously, Dave, you can continue your connection on YouTube and everything like that. It's been a fun experiment. How has everybody been? Has everybody had a kind of well? Obviously, we lost Kristen, but that was due to a different issue. So
yeah.
Eli, GeneralTate, did you? What was your experience? Let's start with Eli. What's been your quality experience of this call?
It was pretty good. I mean, the audio quality was good. I had no problem with that. And I'm gonna figure out how to get better audio out of one computer and into the other. Right now it's kind of low, but for considering I had 15 minutes to figure out all this out and wire it and pipe everything in. I think it went all right.
General?
Okay, just waiting, making sure nobody else has anything to add. Yeah, the call's been, minus the technical difficulties in the beginning, the call's been excellent. As soon as I got everything reconfigured and hooked up with Skype, it's been excellent thus far. The conversation has been good, everything's been good, and, you know, all has been well.
It's weird, though, because usually it's Skype giving us issue and, you know, the Google Hangout where everything usually works most of the time. But, you know, the universe decided to spin it in reverse for us today. We've also been getting a lot of solar flares, too. Katerina and Paul were planning on showing up, but they were unable to make it. They did try to load up Google Hangout via their cellular, but it wasn't really working all that great where they were. I guess it had to do with the reception or something, I don't know, but things were crashing and whatever. If they were at home, they would have been able to, you know, to join us, but they attempted, you know, and it failed, but they're out and about doing stuff. They tried, it didn't work, so otherwise they would have been here.
Right, well, there we go. So I think I'll put some music on in a little while. Thank you very much, Dave, for hosting this. It's been an interesting experiment. This wasn't strangely, well, it took something beyond something. We've gone beyond communicating. You know, when we first started doing Skype calls, it was kind of like this. There were lots of problems and hang-ups. Now we've got that smooth. We've got that layer down. That's getting the video layer organized. And you know, what do people see? You know, how can it be more like people are seeing? For instance, me on the call. How would I do that? I'd need to have a picture there or something like that, or some sort of representation.
Yeah, obviously for the full video, you would need a little more upload bandwidth than you have. Obviously, we tested that the other day, and it was really glitchy, just connecting between the two of us. You seem to be able to see my video just fine, but yours was a bit glitchy, and it made the audio a little choppy, and then when you disabled your video, everything was smooth, and you know, you could still see mine and whatever. So on your end, a little bit more upstream would obviously help, but just, you know, generally speaking, you know, the interface seems smooth. Anybody with the upstream and downstream requirements, you know, popping into a Google Hangout works as it works, and then I just got my little hookup, and you know, we could, you know, do what we're doing in simulcast and whatever. So I think the interface itself is smooth, and the only issues are just, you know, issues that individuals might have, either bandwidth-wise or, you know, cell phones not working properly with available signal or whatever, like Katerina and Paul were having, and, you know, Kristen needed to deal with, you know, in-person physical reality circumstance stuff, so that didn't even have to do with technology. That just, she had to go do some stuff, and she didn't really have an opportunity to you know, to let us know. It just all happened kind of suddenly. So, you know, but on the technological level, everything seems to be working fine. And we can do this again whenever you'd like, and maybe we'll align with more people joining us, but it still hasn't been a bad turnout. We got Dave Kelso, Time Warrior, me, JP, Eli, Rich, and Kristen. So in total, that's a 5-person turnout, which I really don't think is bad. Not at all.
No, not too bad at all.
Nope, not bad.
We gotta get Goofy on here one of these days if he's got some time. You know, the other John, not Riley, but the other one. How's John Riley been these days anyway? I know I talked to Goof the other day, but how's how's Slasher, aka John Riley? How's he been?
So let's just before you don't know John, who's John Riley? You know, do you want to introduce John Riley before we say goodbye to everybody on the program?
Well, if you go on to a PSEC documentary and you scroll through the videos and you go to the playlist section and to the Pointless Audio Radio Show. There's 4 episodes that we did a while back, and you can hear all of us, me and Eli and Slasher, aka John Riley, and then the other John, aka Goofy or Goo, and then Toon Man, aka Paul Pelletier. So you can hear all that and get all the frame of reference you like. You can also go to ospreynet.info, and Eli said he's bringing the older shows back from back in the day and streaming those, so you could hear Roundtable Radio and all that good stuff too. So yeah.
Yeah, all that's on the talk stream. We're working on that.
Okay, can you give us the URL then, Eli?
Ospreynet.info and ospreyradio.org.
Excellent. And GeneralTate, do you have a broadcast medium?
I do. I post a lot of journals on DeviantArt. I have a TSU account, a Facebook, and I do have a YouTube. And the YouTube is USMCTate. The DeviantArt is also GeneralTate, just like my Skype account. TSU goes under my personal name, Richard Hamilton, and my Facebook is personal, but I do run a group called NASA Headquarters on there, which I also have on DeviantArt as well, and I post a lot of really cool stuff on there. And that's pretty much how you can find me.
Yeah. And you could also go on Facebook and search for Paradigm Shift in Educational Comedy, and you will inevitably find all of us. You will find me, you will find Rich, you will find Katerina, you will find all of us.
So, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us in this experimental connection. This has been Everbeyond. Join us next week. Join me tomorrow. We got Lance White, Zany Mystic from BBS Radio, Old School. And next week, I forgot next week. I've got some cool people coming. Go to everbeyondradio.com and you see who's coming along. Good night, everyone. Okay, I've got to drop this call. Thanks very much, guys. Good night, everybody.
Yep.
See ya.
Okay. I'm gonna drop the Osprey carried the show in the back.
Well, we are still broadcasting on PSEC if you wanted to keep going.
Actually, I gotta get off here.
All right.
I'll be here for a few more minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and say goodnight on the radio, and I'll talk to you guys for a minute. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds fine. And Kristen's just messaging me on Facebook at the same time. Interesting that she's synchronistically aligning back at the end of Everbeyond.
All right. Slasher, he's doing all right. He just had a new kid. Yeah, he hadn't really been involved with Osprey since he went crazy, and I can't really let him come back. Yeah. Long story there. I mean, we still talk, we still friends, we still good, but as for him being a part of Osprey, he's no longer a part of Osprey. And when you're not recording this, I'll go into more in-depth and tell you about it. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright. Alright, well, I'm gonna get off here. I gotta work on some websites and stuff before I head to bed, and yeah, I'll holler at you on Facebook, alright? It was nice to meet you, Commander. Have a good one.
Yep, nice to meet you too.
Alright. Night, guys.
Yeah, I'm just touching base with Kristen on a few things she's updating. Rich, you can rant and ramble about stuff while I'm doing this, because I'm just trying to get information.
I was just going to say, I shall be right back.
Oh, okay. So this is an interesting transitional moment here. Got all different levels of communication coming in. Yep, so I'm chatting with Kristen, waiting for Rich to come back. Daphne Dugan messaged me. Got all sorts of things kind of coming at me at once here, and we're going to figure out whether or not we're going to finish the discussion or, cut this off or what we're going to do. I don't know exactly what we're going to do yet.
Say that to Daddy.
Shut my door here. Let's see. Yep, sorry about this awkward silence, folks, as we're waiting for Rich to return, and I'm getting hit in multiple directions of contact here. I hope everybody enjoyed the the show we did for the last hour, 2 hours, whatever the heck it's been. Yeah, it's been 2 hours. Wow. Okay, 5 to 7. Yeah, 2 hours. The time just goes by. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut off the live broadcast here. I don't know when Rich is going to be back, and I'm getting distracted. So thanks, everybody, for watching, and hope everybody had a good time, and we'll do this again soon. Catch y'all later. Peace out.